I'm going to talk about the Goliath XL fin range. I'll explain how I came up with the idea. So you're probably aware fin sizing goes up in increments, small, medium and large. I recommend that someone up to 70 kilos should ride a small fin set. Up to 80 kilos you'd ride medium, and then they say 80 plus, but it's basically up to 90 kilos you'd ride a large set. If you're above 90 kilos like myself, there previously wasn't anything on the market suitable for someone that weight. I'm kind of fluctuate between around 110 kilos, a bit over, a bit below sometimes. And I started to realise that there wasn't a fin on the market for me, so I started to collaborate with a few people to develop the XL fin set. So this fin is designed for anyone around 95 kilos plus. This is the correct size fin for you. The reason fin sizing is important is it matches to your weight and it affects how much drive you get from the fin and how much hold you get. They're the two main factors, and then you can look at different things with rake, which I'll talk about in a minute. But if you're over 95 kilos and you're riding a large fin, you're on the wrong size fin. And through development of these fins and through customer feedback, a lot of people don't realise they're on the wrong size fin until they try one of these and actually realise what a difference it makes. I want to talk a bit more about the fin template and the construction. It's quite a neutral template. This has come about through lots of testing and development. A lot of our customers have found as they switch to the correct size fin after riding a smaller fin, they're getting plenty amount of drive from the surface area. So a lot of them have found they didn't need the extra rake to give that kind of drive and kind of carvy open face feel, because they're getting that from being on the correct size area and a slightly larger fin that they're used to riding. If anything, it's just very slightly more upright, and again it's very neutral but just a touch more upright, and that's just to give a bit more of your kind of top to bottom kind of pivoty turns. I'll talk a little bit about the construction. The Goliath XL fin comes in two types of construction: honeycomb and carbon. This one's a honeycomb. Generally the honeycomb is going to be a bit stiffer, which you're going to want to give you a bit more control. So for me, this is my high performance shortboard, so I generally ride this when the waves get good in the UK or if I'm ever away. So generally overhead waves, clean. If I want to ride a high performance shortboard, I usually match them up with a honeycomb fin, and that's because of the control you get. Whereas the carbon, which I'll talk about in a sec, is a bit more springy and gives you a bit more kind of squirt. So this is the carbon fin. The idea behind this has got a slightly more kind of flex or pop, which you want in smaller, weaker waves. So this is my daily driver. So I usually ride this in around kind of most days in the UK really, if it's got enough size to ride a smaller board like this. So anything up to head high, anything from about stomach to chest high, maybe a bit overhead if it's quite weak. So those kind of waves, I still need the fins and the boards to do a bit of work for me. So they just have a very slight amount more flex, and you can feel it in different waves. So that's good for smaller, weaker waves when you want a bit of help down the line. But you get up to a certain size and you'd probably want to go to the honeycomb just to have that bit more control. You don't really need the kind of pop and squirt on the bigger, better waves. The waves doing a lot of the work for you. So smaller waves, any kind of grovel waves. These come as a quad as well, so you can come as a 5 fin or a thruster. So I often switch these up as a quad if it's quite lower, just to give that extra bit of squirt as well. It's also worth mentioning that a lot of our customers use these for groveling and use them to size up. And what I mean by that, it's very common for surfers to size up their fin if they're groveling to give themselves more drive. So a lot of the pros do it. Even you're probably familiar with Noel Salas Surf and Show. If not, I really recommend you check out his channel. But whenever he's groveling, he's always talking about sizing up his fins, which is good for most people within the kind of average weight bracket. But if you're riding a large fin already, say you're around 85 kilos, and then you want to size your fin up to grovel, previously there was nothing available. So we're finding a lot of our customers now ride a large fin normally and then use the XL fin when they want to grovel.